So let's look at what James talks about. One of the themes that comes in frequently in the letter is business. And of course, a lot of the dispersed Jews were in business, as they often are. You see, they've been hounded around from one country to another, so they have to have a trade or profession that is easily portable. That's why they've been tailors. You only need to take a needle and thread with you. They've been jewelers, because you can pack up your goods in a small suitcase. They've been moneylenders, because through medieval Europe, Jews were not allowed to, or Christians were not allowed to be moneylenders, so the Jews did it all. It's how they became the bankers and the Rothschilds. And so Jews have just had to be very good at business. They've learned to live by their wits. They are very shrewd judges of customers, and they are good at business, no question about it. But that has its own snags. Jesus, the Jewish Jesus, said you cannot worship God and mammon. You can't devote yourself to God and money-making at the same time. Now, the Pharisees laughed when Jesus said that, because they were both rich and religious. But Jesus said, it's impossible. And they laughed at him and said, he's a penniless beggar anyway. He doesn't know how to make money, so he's just against the rich. But Jesus knew, he constantly warned us, that it's hard for rich people to get into the kingdom. And by New Testament standards, almost every one of us in this room is rich. And 99% of the people in this country are rich by New Testament standards, and that's why it's so hard to get them into the kingdom. But there are dangers of riches. Money itself can do a lot of good. It's neutral, but the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, said Paul. And in this little letter, wealth has corrupted some of his readers. Here are some of the things that they are now doing. They are exploiting their employees, holding their wages back to help the cash flow of the business. They're doing that. They're indulging themselves and spending money on needless luxuries. They are flattering rich people who come into their assemblies, telling the poor people they can sit at the back, but showing rich people who come to the front seats. Now that's a very subtle thing, but I know churches and fellowships where a few rich people in the fellowship are controlling it, because people are giving a wrong authority to them because they finance so much. And that's a very dangerous position to get into. But some of these fellowships were giving too much attention to the wealthy members, who are no more important than anybody else. They were insulting poor people and despising them. The trouble is, when you make money, you regard yourself as successful, and then you regard others as failures who haven't made it. And you look down on them. And snobbery goes with wealth. And that was happening here. And above all, it was giving them a false security. And that's the worst thing about money. It gives you a false security. Remember the rich fool? I will pull down my barns and build greater. And he said to himself, I'm going to take it easy now. I'm going to take my redundancy money, retire early, and have a good time. Jesus said, you fool, tonight your soul will be required of you. See, money deceives. The deceitfulness of riches, Jesus called it. And this was getting into the Jewish believers in the dispersion, because so many of them were in business.